I'm Jackie Broadhead. I'm a senior researcher at the University of Oxford and I'm from Huddersfield. I visited New York and cities in Italy, so Bologna, Rome and down in the south of Italy, and I did research about how cities can better integrate migrants. At the time that I applied, I was managing the No Recourse to Public Funds team at Islington Council, which is a social work team that works with destitute migrants, and I was also managing the Syrian refugee resettlement programme. And so I was interested in what the work that we were doing with the newly arrived migrants that we were working with, but also what could be done longer term to build more cohesive and successful communities. Really, what I found was how much can be done at the local level. So I feel like a lot of what we talk about in the UK migration debate is about the national policy level. So we talk about having a net migration target of wanting to get migration down to the tens of thousands and who we want to have and who we don't want to have. But what we talk less about is what actually happens when people are here and how we can live well together and build cohesive communities, and how much of that lies with local government. And I'd really felt, having worked with local government, that not as much of that was happening as it could be. And in particular in New York, I saw really exciting examples of, for example, English language provision. So a programme called We Speak NYC, where they're TV programmes that the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Affairs there has set up, that anybody can watch, but there's also downloadable teaching packs that you can download and you can run your own English class. Or Action NYC, which is a programme of community advice provision all over New York. So anybody in New York can get free immigration advice, and that's advertised on the subway so that everybody knows that it exists and where that they can go and get it. But more broadly also how you create an identity as a city, and how you talk about migration, and that's something that I really felt like UK cities were finding it very hard to do. It's a topic that oftentimes we find hard to talk about, and it can be quite fraught. And there's a line that I really like that I think kind of illuminates the way that it might be easier at the city level, which is the Home Office gets to decide who's British, but anybody can be a Londoner or Glaswegian or a Liverpudlian, and how do we make that real? So initially my work was focused on Islington Council, where I was working at the time, and implementing some of the lessons that I'd learned. So during the summer that I did my fellowship, we had both Brexit and just before I went, and then the election of Donald Trump just after, which obviously significantly changed the landscape. Within the council, we were able to start thinking about, well, what are the things that we need, for example, for our European residents to make them feel reassured, and we were able to very quickly take some of the kind of direct approaches that had happened in New York about the type of information that you want to put out and the type of services you want to deliver. But I also then actually moved on to my current role at the Centre on Migration Policy and Society at the University of Oxford, which is leading a programme called Inclusive Cities. And we're working with 6 UK cities, Bristol, Cardiff, Glasgow, Liverpool, London and Peterborough. And we're working with leaders within the local authority there to, over the course of 2 years, develop action plans around what they can do as local leaders within their cities. It's been really an extraordinary experience, firstly because when I took on the fellowship, this wasn't the area that I worked in. It was an interest, it was something that I thought was something that could be done better, but it wasn't my work day to day. And now it has very much become my work day to day. And so really it's kind of inspired a career change, a move from local government into research and academia, and a kind of much broader sweep. But I think also from a personal point of view, I feel like I've really grown. It's been an amazing opportunity to develop the way that I think about these issues, and also to kind of open yourself up to new experiences. And I couldn't recommend it more. It's been an amazing experience. I think other people should definitely apply for the fellowship. From my personal experience, I have nothing but positive things to say about it. It has allowed me to go places and do things that I never thought that I would necessarily be able to, and then translated them into my career. And this idea of that we should be more outward looking, that we shouldn't be insular, that we should look outwards and we should be open to learning and growing and thinking about what we can take from other places in the world and bring them back and apply them to the UK, I think is a really powerful idea and has been very powerful for me personally, and I think it can be for others as well.